consistently, which I know is something you've really searched for during your career and tried to kind of build into your game. How are the rest of the guys on the team working around you to help you, kind of get the most game?
I think mostly I was just trying to adjust to each other and play together. I mean, ain't nothing really much I do as an individual, but as a whole, that we just share the ball a lot and we all just try to help each other out.
RJ, kind of a different question for you. You're new to the group. How's it worked for you trying to kind of adapt to everybody and, kind of define your role early in the season?
Pretty much just playing hard, trying to get like the team going with my energy coming off the bench and everything. And I think that they helped as well because they encourage me every day and they just keep pushing me to get better.
That's it for me, Andrew.
Ian, if you have any questions, go ahead.
Yeah, you mentioned energy, and I mean, the whole team had a ton of it tonight. Was that just sort of trying to shake off that loss and get back on track, or is that just something you try to bring every night?
I think we just try to be consistent with it every day, but I think it had a lot to do with just the frustration from the last game and how well we could have done. But I mean, yeah, I think we try to stay consistent with that every day.
And then, I mean, did you guys plan on using your size advantage as like a main thing? Because you guys had 51 rebounds to their 29. So obviously it was a bit of a mismatch there.
Yes, that was the main thing. We had stress coming out the locker room and before the game just to be physical with them because they don't really like that, and just get all the offensive boards that we can and try to keep them off the boards as much as we can too.
All right, that's all I got.
Yeah, good to be back on the court. I really wanted us to respond from the other night. I thought we came out with some fire in our eyes and responded, and then continued to just not play the score and doubled them up again in the second half, which I was pleased with. We got a lot of guys, a lot of minutes. We got Deshaun Parker, hadn't played a game in a long time. Got him some game reps, which he needs, and continue to get him in game shape. And so that was there was certainly some positives from all around.
Dustin, coming back from Knoxville and, you learn your lessons from that and then you move on, what were the things that you were really trying to prioritize that you wanted to see the guys accomplish tonight?
Yeah, I think that was really, just our response and response in a together in a play for one another. The other night we didn't take care of the ball. And so tonight, 14 assists in a positive. But I just really wanted to see us just come out and just move on and respond. And really, I talked to our team about defense will dictate our offense. Let's get it done on the defensive end. And I thought, holding them to 25 and then 22, that was really what I wanted to see is I really thought the other night, and I mentioned this, I thought our offense dictated our defense. We let some missed shots and then, pressure to make them, and there wasn't a lot of clean looks. And then we didn't guard. So we gotta take care of the defensive end first. And I really thought we responded that way.
Talk a little bit about Donovan, whose game just continues to develop. I think the thing that strikes me, the difference between last year and this year is just how decisive he is. He gets the ball in his hands, no hesitation. He knows he's got a mismatch. He goes to the rim. Talk a little bit about what's going on that's kind of led to that growth for him.
Yeah, I think that I think he's really worked hard, and I give credit to him. I think he's really worked hard. I think we've also found a little niche with him with his quote in a positionless style, his position, you should say, in our offense of having the ball in his hands a lot, letting him be a playmaker, getting the ball in the middle of the floor. But 18 points on 6 shots, that's pretty impressive. But what also in 5 assists, no turnovers. And so getting him the ball in the middle of the floor, letting him be a playmaker, but also be a scorer. I think he's confident. He should be. 30 plus 33 with him in 20 minutes that's pretty impressive. And so, but also that I think he's playing good defense. He presents a mismatch problem for our opponents. and because they've kind of got to maybe adjust and go small because of how we're playing. And so I'm proud of him. I think he's really playing good basketball, and I think he's flourishing really well.
Last one for me. In as much as you can give an update on this, because I realize it's difficult with concussion protocols. How is Justin doing? Saw him on the bench. Is there any kind of even loose prognosis for a return for him at this point?
He entered protocol yesterday, and so I don't know how many days or exactly that is. He'll keep progressing, but he did enter concussion protocol yesterday, and so that's positive. And that's a step in the right direction. He's symptom-free as of yesterday, and so now he will continue to go through that process with, the protocol. And so we're moving in a positive direction.
Thanks, Dustin.
Dean, go ahead.
Yeah, so you're winding down your non-conference schedule. How are you feeling at this point in the season?
Ian, this year's different. It's crazy, right? It's I just mentioned on the radio, like normally in a normal year, scheduling's crazy. It's just, in a normal year, we would have played 12, 13 games by now with 2 scrimmages. So we've only played 7 games, and with the way the schedule, it's we're just thankful to be playing. I'm really, now we just inserted a player, even though he's practiced with our team and all that, but like, getting in that game flow, game rhythm. That's why these games are kind of fell at a good time with inserting him, so he can kind of get in a rhythm and get in a flow and get in some game shape. Even though he's practiced, it's different than a game. He hadn't played a game in a long time, and so we're late December, and so I'm still kind of learning, where we're at and things like that. I was pleased tonight with our defense. I was pleased tonight with some individuals and their production. I thought R.J. Duhart played a very good game. I thought Michael Eads did some good stuff for us. And so those reps are really critical. And because we've got a lot of depth. And so getting some guys some minutes and seeing the ball go in and getting those game reps are really beneficial. But Ian, I think that I'm still learning. Kind of, where we're at with things. We're 5-2, and we'll keep moving forward.
What was the game plan coming out of the half? Because you mentioned you held them to only 22 in the second half, but it took them, I believe, around 10 minutes to score their 5th point. So you guys were on fire coming out.
Yeah, that was the game plan. Is, hey, listen, we can take a positive step by playing good defense when you're up 21. And, that was the thing at South Carolina State first game. We were up 27 at the half, and our defense, a little bit of maturity things just kind of relaxed a little bit. And I challenged them to be mature and to continue to be great defensively, and for them, for us to hold them to 22 in the second half, I thought was a step as far as maturity goes, because that means we didn't play the score, we didn't, play our competition. We trusted our habits, and we tried to build on those. And I thought we had some really good reps and some really good possessions defensively.
All right, that's all I got.
It's hard to practice right now. Every day is you just try to get to the breakfast the next day, right? And so we're thankful to be playing games, but you also want to we need some practice reps too. We haven't, we got 3 games in 4 days, and so but we got a quick turnaround tomorrow, and with the crazy schedule this year, let's try to practice what we're doing in the Sun Belt play, and play back to back, and play 6 and 4 like we plan on doing on Sun Belt, and let's practice that and get a rep at it, because that's going to be unique. We've never played back-to-back conference games ever, and so it'll hopefully get us at least a rep at that.
And you mentioned that because you've got another game in less than 24 hours, which is going to be something you're going to have to see repeatedly in conference play. Is that really the only way to prepare for something like that, is just to do it?
Yeah, because you typically don't do that. And so, Columbia International is playing East Tennessee State tonight. And so they'll come over here, I think, tonight. But yeah, that was something that we at least tried to schedule. Was we never played back-to-back in conference, and so at least let's get a rep at it, especially with so many new guys. We still got a lot of young new faces.